Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Kier. It's been about 2 weeks since I actually made a video, although I did finally get around to uploading my Beltane video like 2 weeks after Beltane, because I'm good like that. No, I'm like technologically retarded. I'm not good with phones at all. I don't own a cell phone. I've had a cell phone one time in my life and it lasted like 2 months. I don't fuck with phones. And I recorded all of the videos on my boyfriend's busted up cell phone he has, because the camera and shit still works, it's just the screen's cracked and it's a hot mess. Well, I then had to figure out how to get them from the phone to the computer, and the first cord we tried was just fucked and it didn't work, but I got it. Yay me. With a little bit of help from the boyfriend, of course, because yeah, I'm not great with shit like that. I know it's sad. I'm 28 years old. I like grew up in the technological advances that we have today and all that shit. But I do remember a time when there were no things like, you know, camera phones and no Facebook and no YouTube. It was a sad age. It was an age where if you got one song stuck in your head, even if you didn't give a shit about the band that was playing it, or you didn't give a shit about the rest of the CD, and it wasn't going to be played on the radio anytime soon where you could record it with, you know, your little fucked up cassette tapes, you had to go out and buy a whole CD for one song. That was life before YouTube. It was dark, it was scary, and it was bad. Anyway, now that I've gone on that random tangent, I hope you've all had a really great week since the last time I was on here. For anybody who's wondering, my grandfather is doing better. He is in a rehabilitation place to try to get him up and walking again. He's still not very happy with any of us because he's there, but, you know, it has to be done. So he threatens to leave every day, and every day Grandma just keeps him preoccupied until he forgot that he's threatened to leave. And I'm not being mean, I'm not being fucked up, it's really what's going on every day. Yeah. fun and more fun. Let's see, I spent most of last week finishing my class I just got out of, and working on finals and all, what the hell was that? And all that good shit, and preparing for another trip into the underworld, which I'll make a video about maybe, I don't know. It was a trip. I used the Journey to the Dark Goddess book this time around, and it worked really well. The book itself had a lot of points in it. Why does the damn color keeps changing? Probably because the sun's going, yeah, the sun's going in and out. Anyway, the book had a lot of stuff in it, not just related to the journey, but observations of shit that you don't really think about, and then it's spelled out in front of you and you're like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Like, I've always said that the darkest periods of my life, when I came out of them, produced some of the best things in my life. And that was, the book was talking about how those dark periods, regardless of, you know, even especially if you don't seek them out, the reason they usually lead to better things is because that is a journey to the Dark Goddess. You just aren't consciously taking it. So that makes sense. And this journey was a trip. I mean, the last one was a trip on a certain level. This was a trip. And yeah, I'll make a video about it, maybe. Let's see, I've done no writing. I've been a terrible fucking writer this past couple weeks. I have not really done much in the way of recording my videos of me reading the books, although I am still working on it. Last week was terrible. I was really, really sick. I was down, I was angry, I was depressed, I was all of it, and I hope I'm better now. I think I'm better now, at least a little bit. So yeah, I didn't do anything except what I absolutely had to do all week last week, which was like clean the house, do homework, and wallow in my depression while reading about the Dark Goddess. Go figure. But yeah, I got a new book a couple of weeks ago that I haven't been able to start yet because I'm trying to finish the Starhawk book that I started like a month ago. I've been reading it, I just haven't been reading, I haven't had very much time, you know, what with being depressed and down and sick and all of those lovely things that I could have paused for 10 minutes out of to fucking read. I've been too busy feeling sorry for myself to read anything other than The Journey to the Dark Goddess, so I'm still trying to finish that book. Yeah. But yeah, the new book that I got, I fucking blanked out. I was trying to remember what I was talking about. The new book that I got is The Complete Book of Women's Mysteries, I believe it's called. I'll show it eventually. It's Zoo Budapest. I've heard of Zoo Budapest the whole time I've been a witch, and I'm just now getting around to reading about her, or reading her work. I have her on my Facebook. I love her posts. I love her energy. I love everything about her. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy this. I flipped through the first few pages because I just couldn't resist it. Yeah, I'm bad about that. Or if it's like a fiction book and I don't know how the book's going to end, I flip to the end to make sure everything turns out alright. Yeah. Anyway, if you're on my Facebook, you already know my baby sister is pregnant. That was the news that I talked about a couple of weeks ago that I got, but I couldn't talk about yet. That was the news. And my first reaction when I found out, well, first, here is how this little fucking hooker tells me this shit, alright? She comes in because she called me and told me she was coming over, like, just to hang out. Not, I need to tell you anything life-changing or massive or, no. I'm just coming to hang out. So, she gets in the door, and big ass over here, Zeus, the big dog, starts jumping on her because that's what he does every time somebody comes in the house. And I'm trying to get him off of her, and she's like, I have news, but if you don't get your dog off of me, it's not going to be news anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she said, well, I'm pregnant, but if you don't get your dog off of me, he's going to go through and, like, maybe I won't be pregnant anymore. And I'm like, oh my god. And I thought she was fucking around, and I look up at her, and she gives me this look, and I'm like, oh my god, she's not kidding. So I bawled like a bitch baby, and then I hyperventilated, and then I regrouped, and I was like, well, of course, me being me, I was like, do you want to have an abortion? And she's like, no. I said, well, do you want to, like, give it away? And we talked about that for a little bit, and she was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I said, well, then we'll get through it. Like, what else are you going to do, We've been through tougher shit than that, so we'll soldier on and get through it. My first reaction was to be completely like, because, in my experience with the way that I've seen things go down in my life, I equate pregnancy at 19 when you're poor as a female with the end of your life. Usually the people who get pregnant young that I grew up around they sacrificed all of their dreams and they didn't do what they wanted after that. But, and that was always the way I looked at it too. I know for a fact that if I had gotten pregnant that young, I would not have kept the child. I don't know that I would have had the child because I would have been on my own. And, and then it hit me, she's not on her own. She has us, we're here, we're gonna do whatever. So it was one of those moments where when I first heard, I was looking at it from my perspective and not her situation, I guess. So I got the fuck over myself, is the moral of that story. And now I'm happy and I'm going to be an aunt again, yay. Only if she thinks it's funny to talk about how she's going to get the baby to call me grandma. Yeah, I'm 28. She thinks that's funny. I don't think that's funny. It's bad enough that when we go out in public, people think she's my kid. And I'm pretty sure it's not because she looks super young, but because I look fucking old. She's fucking 19 and they think she's my kid. That's nice. But yeah, so that's just kind of like a recap. Last 2 weeks of my life, that kind of stuff. Not much going on. I'm crawling out of my self-pity party I had going on, balloons and all. And I'm going to make a few videos tonight and do all the other shit. I put a lot of pressure on Tuesday this week. I always look at Tuesday like, you don't have any homework. So you can put this off till Tuesday and put this off till Tuesday. And then Tuesday rolls around and I now have a mountain this high of shit that I need to do because I put it off till Tuesday. So I'm going to do a couple more videos today, hopefully. And yeah, it was nice catching up with you. I hope you all have a beautiful week and I hope you all remember to smile.